Oh, baby, look at you. You're just on YouTube. You're so bored. You've just, man. Well, don't let it get you down because now you're about to get really happy because you stumbled upon the fabulous, most amazing Shark Radio on the internet. The fabulous, incredible Clark the Shark Show from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone, baby. You know that. It's a Sharkerphone. The golden excellence in broadcasting Sharky. You can't top him, baby, because everywhere in the universe, Sharky is number one. Andromeda, Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Venus, the sun. If you can walk on the sun, you know they love Sharky there, but certainly Uranus. Shark is number one there. They voted for him, baby. And there's a lot of people that vote for this album right here, Rush 2112, to be just as number one as Sharky, baby. This is one incredible, amazing album. And me, Clark the Shark, in 1976, I was only 11 years old over at Newton Middle School in Torrance. And I heard all these rumors about Rush, This actually came out when I was in 5th grade at Parkway School. This is March 1976, you guys. I was just a 10-year-old still. March 1976. I turned 11, April 27, 1976. And man, I have forgotten that this album was already out when I was in the 5th grade. And I heard little kids talking about Rush. And as I grew, and then I went to Newton in Torrance, I heard lots of people talking about Rush. But me, Clark the Shark, I was into my Beatles and my Stones, and just trying to get into the Who, find out about this band called the Who. I was just a little kid, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. And I don't think it was till I was probably 13 or 14, 1978, 79, that I really took the chance and I went to somebody's house and I stole this album, Rush 2112, because I was just a little kid and, I wasn't really going to record stores yet. I was just 13 and 12. And so I would steal things. And I forget whose house it was, but I stole Rush 2112 and I took it over to 251 Paseo de Gracia. And I played this album and I hated it. I heard the first song and I heard this annoying lead singer with the shrill, high-pitched voice. I listened to the whole album and I was like, this sucks. I fucking can't stand these guys, Rush. Why does everyone like this band? And I was, I didn't even know if they were a 3-piece or a 4-piece or a 5-piece or whatever, but I hated Rush when I was like 12 or 13. However old I was, I can't remember, but I did listen to the whole album and I despised Rush. But then I would go to school and I would hear the kids talking about Rush. And I was like, why do they talk about Rush? Why do they like that band? That band fucking sucks. I hate Rush. But of course, over the years with evolution, I, Clark the Shark, right here from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkerphone, over time, you guys, I would come to love Rush and I would go see these guys in concert. I began to, discover them, learn about them. I learned how they were just 3 guys, a 3-piece, but they sounded like they had 7 guys on stage. I mean, there was so much happening with Rush, the way they pre-program their stage show with all these triggers and all this shit. I mean, they're just amazing, incredible. But it took years for me to appreciate Rush. Way back in the day, I was just a little kid. You guys got to give me a break here. I'm Clark the Shark, the guy listening to punk rock, Black Flag and Greg Ginn and, all that shit, but it took some getting used to, acquiring Rush, if you will. Oh, but baby, I did indeed over the years. And I would come to love this album. I bet this only gets 3 stars. Oh, look at that. It gets 4. Solidly gets 4. I would give it 5 today, of course, and long ago, too. By the time we got into the early 80s, 1981, when I was 16, oh, by then, baby, I was a Rush fanatic. And of course, the overture, they're trying to be like the Who, Tommy. Rush really based this album off their love for the Who, you guys, or, maybe their love for ELP and Yes and Jethro Tull, all those bands, Eloy, Gentle Giant, Genesis. But Rush loved the Who, Tommy, and they named the overture after the Who's overture, for sure. And the Temples of Syrinx, of course, was that annoying song that I hated, but then I grew to love, where Geddy Lee is just singing in this annoying voice. But the guitar by Alex Lifeson is so incredible. And of course, Neil Peart, my favorite drummer, the most amazing drummer. And he stole everything he did from Keith Moon, but also Bill Bruford and all those other incredible drummers, Carl Palmer and Barrymore Barlow and all those guys, man. Maybe John Bonham, but certainly Keith Moon with all the fills, all the triplets and just all the rolls and just beautiful sounding. I love the Keith Moon drum fills that Neil Peart, man, God rest his soul. He died recently, you guys, and I was very sad because Neil Peart was a genius lyricist, poet. He wasn't a lyricist. He was a poet / drummer / Swiss Army knife. I mean, at his home studio, Neil Peart probably played guitar, bass, keyboards. He probably did it all. I don't know. But we all know what a great drummer and great lyricist Neil Peart was, man. God rest his soul. What an amazing talent and discovery, presentation, Oracle the Dream. This is like something Clark the Shark would think up on the rock opera White Suburban Liars, where I just rip off everything from Tommy and this album, 2112 and Soliloquy. And then grand finale. I mean, we're only on side 1, you guys. Great melodic, atmospheric music. I'll bet you David Bowie appreciated this album, you guys. But certainly every heavy metal and hard rock band and every new wave punk rock, indie band, grunge band, you name it, blues, country, we all appreciate this really weird, lame, cheesy, horrible, overproduced rock music by Rush, but we love it. It's just so fucking cheesy and brilliant. It's awesome. In some weird way, Rush does so much more than Kansas or Styx or any of that. So much more than Toto or Jefferson Starship, because Rush mixes all their technical, amazing dreams and just all the shit they do. They mix it with a garage band or stuff like The Who. It's very professional, and yet you get this feel like Rush could be playing next door to your house in a garage. But then again, no, because they're just too good. They're just too brilliant, man. Neil Peart with all his fantastic drumming and shit. And the way Geddy just plays bass and he sings in this high, shrill, screechy, high-pitched voice. That's even more annoying than Robert Plant on Led Zeppelin 3 or 4. I mean, Geddy is so annoying, but it's amazing and brilliant. It's just incredible, you guys. I love it. Side 2, A Passage to Bangkok, one of the greatest Rush songs, man. Just a hit song, awesome, and still very annoying, very high-pitched vocals by Geddy Lee, yet the guitar from Alex Lifeson is amazing. And The Twilight Zone, I love it. Side 2 gets very melodic. I love Lessons, and the mellow song Tears is maybe my favorite song on the whole album. I love it when Rush get mellow. They do that on a few early albums. Oh man, I love it. Something for Nothing, one of the greatest, most hard-rocking Rush songs where Alex Lifeson is just so melodic on the guitar. Awesome, you guys. Side 2 is so melodic and so textured, and they're just telling this story. And halfway through this album, you forget the story. You don't even know what you're listening to. You're so mesmerized by this album. You don't even fucking care. You just love Rush. And somewhere along the lines of listening to this album, they become your favorite band, I swear. So melodic, atmospheric, and amazing. Side 1, man, where they're just, it's like a dream. It's better than the Who Tommy. You know, it's not as good as the Who Tommy, but this album has things the Who will never have. I know I say that all the time, but I really mean it, you guys, on Rush 2112. Just such an annoying band, but they're so fucking great. And then later on with Hemispheres, A Farewell to Kings, and those two incredible albums, Permanent Waves and Moving Pictures. Oh, just all the great Rush albums. They are amazing, you guys. I love me some Rush. I love it, you guys. Dude, I've seen this band live in concert like 20 times. I've seen them more than the Grateful Dead. I've only seen the Who like 3 times, you guys, but I've seen Rush. Dude, maybe 25 times. I love Rush. Me, Clark the Shark. And it's no surprise. Everyone in Redondo, Torrance, Palos Verdes, Gardena, Lomita, Long Beach, San Pedro, whoever knows Clark the Shark and the Greenhouse Effect, you know they know that I love me some Rush 2112, but I love all their albums, and I love the albums before this album. Caress of Steel. I love that first Rush album, and it doesn't even have Neil Peart on it. And of course, Fly By Night. I love it. They become Rush on Fly By Night, but they go to the next level on Caress of Steel. But here on 2112, they become this cheesy, ambient, atmospheric, really lame, fucking god-awful, terrible, professional garage band. And yet they are brilliant. They're on another level from everybody else. And that's why they became a huge arena rock band, because everybody knew deep down that the number one band on the planet was these 3 guys, Rush. Alex Lifeson, he's so great on guitar, yet he gets forgotten in this band because Neil Peart's drumming is so amazing. He's like Bill Bruford, John Bonham, Keith Moon, and Carl Palmer and Bobby Caldwell from Captain Beyond, all rolled into one. Neil Peart is unbelievable, and his poetry is just off the hook, you guys, off the scale. I mean, it's really lame and really cheesy, but that's what makes it so fucking great. So amazing. And Geddy Lee, man, his bass playing is phenomenal. Don't ask me how. Geddy Lee plays bass and he sings at the same time. It is one of the wonders of the world, man. It is a mystery how talented Geddy Lee is. He is a story unto himself, you guys. Amazing talent. His shrill, awful, horrible lead vocals, they're so annoying. But I love him because he's taking chances. He's artistic. He's like Robert Plant on Led Zeppelin 3, but even more annoying and shrill and high-pitched than that will ever be. Geddy Lee, man, fucking amazing. Of course, later, he would tone it down and get more normal sounding on subsequent Rush albums after this one, but he was still very annoying and awful. And I love it because it's so unique and different. And everything about Rush is unique and different. There is no band like Rush, you guys. There is no band like them. They are incredible. And believe you me, when Clark the Shark says it, baby, I mean it. I fucking love Rush. And I love this album, you guys, 2112. And if you're a young kid in 2023 and you're just 20 and you were born in 2003, I want you to buy Rush 2112 at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. Fuck Amazon. Don't buy there, but definitely buy at Spotify and iTunes. I want you guys to buy every Rush album if you're just 20 years old. Don't get into those fake fucking indie bands from 2008. Fuck that. You get into Rush 2112 and Rush Hemispheres, Rush A Farewell to Kings, Rush Caress of Steel, Rush Moving Pictures, Rush Permanent Waves, Signals, and Grace Under Pressure. This is the band that I, Clark the Shark, want you to get into, you guys. If you're just 15 years old right now in 2023, fuck it. If you're just 14, I want you to get into Rush. And don't listen to indie. Don't listen to that lame fucking rap, hip hop, or techno, or any of that fucking shit. I want you to listen to Rush forever, you guys. And when you go buy the record, you tell them that Clark the Shark told you. He told you so, brother. Right here from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. That's right, 1-800-449-8255. The Wolfman Jack on crack me. That's right, Clark the Shark, the excellence in Sharky broadcasting. I love you guys, man. And I want you to buy Rush. And I want you to meet Geddy Lee. Send him emails. Talk to Alex Lifeson and tell him you love him. You know, you guys can't talk to Neil Peart now. He's gone. All that genius has left the building, you guys. But there's still 2 Rushmen left, Geddy and Alex, and I want you to get to know them and talk to them. And if you see them on the streets in Toronto, buy them a cup of coffee and tell them they're the greatest. Tell them that you loved Neil Peart. And Clark the Shark told you so, baby. And I'm out of here. Peace.